Hey Masters, so let's start with the session for today, and I welcome you all to this book session. And I normally start my sessions with stating that why this book? Why Dying to Be Me? So let's start by knowing that, because I feel that it justifies, and then we know that the book hasn't been picked up just randomly, because as we say that the book chooses you. So I will just talk about that first. So I had read this book many years back, and just recently as I was reading some other book, then the thought of this book came to my mind, and the thoughts were so intense that I had to put down the book I was reading and I had to pick up this book. And I knew that since nothing is a coincidence, nothing is random, nothing happens by accident, I knew that the time has come for another book session. So here we are talking about this amazing, amazing book, Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani. And I still remember, how this book had deeply touched me, how much it resonated with me. There were so many similarities, from little things to big things, like sharing the same birth date, having the same favorite color, having the same place for holidays, and that deep love for chocolates. But beyond the surface, there were more meaningful and deeper similarities as well, like the constant push and pull between what the society expects and what your heart truly desires, following your heart in choosing your life partner, and most significant of all, living life from a place of fear. And when I say fear, then I don't mean that little anxiety or nervousness. I mean fear which is beyond measure. Fear that would take over my whole body. It would paralyze me from inside out. It would go into every cell of my body. And what's strange is that fear, involuntarily, it became a part of my body that I could feel its living presence inside me, and even its own distinct smell. And it was only through meditation that happened much later in my life, I actually came to know where the energy of fear was coming from. That I had done something brutal in one of my past life, and that energy of fear was being carried across lifetimes, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be healed. And reading Anita's story, it felt like someone understood that kind of fear, and more importantly, it showed that healing was very much possible. It gave me hope that there's light beyond the fear, and that we're all capable of coming to that place of peace, joy, and strength within. So, coming back to the book, Anita in this book shares her powerful life journey. She shares her childhood, the challenges, the struggles that she faced of living in a Western country which had modern and a very open approach towards life. But at home, she had to deal with very traditional and orthodox ideals and principles. And this led her torn between the outside world and following her own heart, for she had her own mind. She wanted to travel, she wanted to explore the whole world. But she got confused, she got stuck between the two worlds, and this is how the struggles in her life began. This is how the doubts and confusion had crept so deep in her mind that she lost sense of direction. And Anita, she battled with cancer for almost 4 years in her life, and the malignant cells, they had creeped into every cell of her body, and because of the cancer, all her bodily organs, they had stopped functioning. And when this happened, then she entered into a state of coma. And it was during this time when she entered coma, then she experienced something profound. She experienced a near-death experience where she entered another realm. And in that realm, she was shown what life is beyond death. So Anita had a direct experience of life beyond death. And in that state, Anita realized her inherent worth. Anita realized so much that what was the cause of cancer that came to her, because of which she had to struggle so much in her life. What was the cause of fear in her life? Why did she had to go through in life what she did? And in that state, she gained a new sense of perspective, new knowledge, new wisdom, and hope. And in that realm, Anita was given a choice to either come back to her physical body or to continue in that realm. And Anita, she chose to come back to the physical realm. So after 30 hours in that state of coma, when Anita came back to the physical world again, she regained consciousness and she found that her bodily organs, which had completely stopped working, they restored functionality, and there was no trace of cancer in her body. And this was nothing short of a miracle. Everyone who witnessed this, they could not believe that Anita is back. More particularly for the doctors, because doctors, they had not seen anything like this or even heard anything like this in their entire medical careers, because Anita, she had not only come back from death, but she also recovered completely from cancer, which had spread throughout her body, not within a matter of year, months, weeks, but just in a matter of days. And in this book, Anita beautifully shares what she learned about illness, healing, fear, love, a near-death experience, and the magnificence of each and every human being. This book brings out the eternal truth that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we're all one. So let me share my slides here with you all. And Masters, I personally loved when Anita shared that with God, all things are possible. And Anita said that she had the first-hand experience of the words of Jesus, which are that with God, all things are possible. And that leaves nothing out, absolutely nothing, including healing the past. So, this suggests that no matter how much horrendous our past was, what all deeds, bad deeds we had done in the past, that healing is possible, that the divine always gives us an opportunity to heal from anything that has happened to us, from anything that we did to others. It suggests that divine power is limitless, that no wound is too deep, that no regret is too great, and no past mistake is beyond redemption. So, these words, they give so much of solace to us, that the divine power is limitless, that no wound is too deep. No matter how much you have suffered in life, it's possible to come out of it. No matter what regrets you might be carrying within your heart, it's possible to come out of it. And no matter what you may have done in the past, it's possible to get past it. So healing isn't just about the physical body. Healing, it extends to your heart, mind, and soul. And so when the healing happens, it not only changes your present, healing also happens in the past, and healing also happens at the level of future, meaning that when you connect with the divinity that resides within you, you're not only healing your present, but what you did in the past, that also gets healed. And since the past has got healed, so the future that would be coming, it also gets automatically healed, meaning that the karma which you might have to face in the future because of what you did in the past or the present, that also gets neutralized. So that shows the power of divine, that shows the power of God, which is limitless. And so right now, if there is anything that feels that is troubling you, it feels painful to you, then know that it was meant to be this way. Don't complain, don't have any regrets. Know that whatever is happening, everything is happening in its divine order. Everything is just perfect. And know this not as a punishment, not as a burden, but as a part of your soul's journey. Know that whatever is happening, it is happening because it is meant to happen as a part of your evolution. For every challenge, trouble, and hardship, or any moment of doubt that you may have, it carries within itself that gift in itself, which may be in the form of lesson, which may be in the form of an opportunity to growth, or a shift that is guiding you towards something greater. And your only task here is to trust, surrender, and walk with faith. For we know that with God everything is possible, for there are no limits and only infinite possibilities. So, Masters, the core message of this book is that we don't need to live in fear at all. Because fear, it often arises from uncertainty. Fear arises when we worry too much about the future, because yes, future is uncertain. And we don't have any control over the future. For things which we have control, we don't fear. But things which are out of control, we fear those things. So fear, it arises from worrying about the future. Fear arises from being haunted by the past. And past, we mean everything that we might have done in the past, which we now regret. But now we know the solution, that when we embrace fully the present moment, then we realize that life is exactly folding. It is exactly unfolding the way it should. And now, let's know that how this book came into existence. So, when Anita, she returned from the brink of death, then Anita, she felt a deep urge within herself that she should bring this message to the world. And so she wrote about her experience on a website known as the Near Death Experience Research Foundation website, which was a platform for all the people who had similar profound experiences, so that they could share the direct experience on this platform. And when Anita, she shared about her experience on this platform, then it began to circulate widely, reaching people across the globe. And everyone who read her experience, they found comfort. They found hope. They found answers about life. They found answers about death, about what is life after death. And it was through this wave of resonance that the experience, that the story of Anita, it reached the ears of Dr. Wayne Dyer. And we know that Dr. Wayne Dyer is a renowned spiritual speaker, a self-help author. He has written a number of books on self-help. He is one of the most respected person. And so Dr. Wayne Dyer, he was deeply moved by Anita's story, and he felt compelled within himself that Anita's story should reach the masses. It should reach the humanity, for he knew that whatever Anita has experienced is not ordinary. And he was sure that when people read Anita's story, their life would change. They would find hope. They would find answers to what they have been looking for. Why? Because he knew that what one experiences, whenever one has a profound experience, which we call as a miraculous experience, what Anita had, that was not just for Anita. It was for the entire humanity. Because when we read this book, then it also brings a shift in us. So that is how, whenever one experiences something divine, it is not just for that person, it is for everyone, because we're all one, we're all connected. And so Dr. Wayne Dyer, he brought to the attention of this book to Hay House, which is again a very renowned publishing house, which was founded by Louis Hay. And Hay House readily accepted to publish Anita's book. But the magic didn't stop just here. Dr. Wayne Dyer not only helped in getting the book published, but he also came forward and told Anita that it would be my privilege if I write a foreword for this book. So foreword is a short introduction of the book, which is written other than the author himself. So, such is the grandness and the greatness of such a big person, Dr. Wayne Dyer, that he himself came and asked if he could write the foreword for this book. And by doing this, he added his own wisdom and energy to the already powerful journey of Anita, and this helped the book become a beacon of strength and awakening for humanity. So what began, as a personal account of Anita sharing her story on the website, it soon turned into an international phenomenon. It soon became so powerful, it touched the lives of millions of people across the globe. And Anita's story is a testament to the fact that when we are aligned with the truth, the universe paves the way for a message to be heard without struggle, without force, but with divine grace and perfect timing. So here, we need to reflect upon our own lives, that are we aligned with our own truth? Because if we are aligned with our own truth, then we should know in ourselves that whatever hardships and whatever challenges we are having, there are for our own good, and we would feel that invisible hand always guiding, always protecting us, and making sure that all the roadblocks that we encounter, they will get past without our so much of struggle to do. So, this is very powerful statement that we should be aligned with our truth. What is our truth? What is our life's purpose? What are we supposed to do? We should know that. Because if we go against that, then we are sure to encounter problems and troubles in our life, because we are not meant to do so. For example, if we have a certain dream to fulfill and that is not a part of a soul plan, then no matter how much hard we try, we will not be able to achieve that. And even if we achieve that, we will not find that soul satisfaction, that we would leave that work and look out for something that gives the satisfaction from inside. So masters, this book, it serves as a reminder that there is no death, that we continue to live after death, and there are no accidents or coincidences that happen in our life, that everything is perfect, that everything, it happens in the divine order. And we just need to release fear, and we should trust in the grand design of life. Trust is very important. Because if we don't trust in whatever is happening, then it would be very difficult for us to even walk one step. But if we have that trust, we will see that there's a power that is taking us forward. that even the most difficult experiences, we will find that even those experiences, we will start finding meaning. We will start finding purpose. Even I have experienced this in life, that when I am experiencing a very challenging situation in my life, definitely it drains out all my energy. Why? Because I'm not used to facing those challenges, and obviously when something is new to me, it gets me out of my comfort zone, and that is how I shake from inside. But when I start seeing behind that what is it trying to teach me, then I start making a little sense of that challenge. When I start seeing what is the true meaning of that challenge, then I get power to face it. And then, Masters, this book, it serves as a powerful reminder that there is no death, as we already spoke about. And it beautifully talks about love, that it is only and only love which has the power to transcend time and space, that we are all love, and that our essence is love, that we don't have to be anyone, we don't have to do anything to be deserving of this love, because love is our inherent nature, love is our very own essence. And this book urges us that we should embrace life joyfully, without any judgment, and trust in the unseen. And it whispers to us that we are enough, just as we are. So, Masters, this book, Dying to Be Me, is not just a story of one woman's experience of near death, but rather it is a message for all of the humanity. It is a message of hope, healing, and the beautiful truth that we are all eternal, limitless, and deeply and unconditionally loved. And just yesterday I happened to watch something on love. So I just thought maybe this has come to me at the right time. So what I read was that, we know Deepak Chopra, he is a very well-known spiritual author. So he came to know, sorry. So he came to know that there's a lady in New Jersey, and she has a son who can read her mind. So Deepak Chopra, he decided that he would visit her. So he came to her along with 2 scientists and a camera. And he asked that, is it true that your son, he can actually read your mind? So she said yes. So what they did was that they kept the mother and the kid, who was just 6 years old at that time, they kept them in separate rooms. They gave the mother a book to read, and not loudly, but they told her to read it mentally. And the kid who was in the other room, they asked the kid that whatever your mom is reading mentally, you type it. And Masters, this is so unbelievable that only that 6-year-old child, he was able to write each and every word what the mother was thinking just in her mind on the computer. And when asked that kid that how were you able to do this? How were you able to know exactly every word what your mother was reading in the book, what your mother had in the mind? So the kid, he answered, I love my mother so much. He said that I love my mother so much, and that is how I know what she is thinking exactly, so precisely. So, this so beautifully illustrates that love is so powerful, that there's nothing that compares to love, that only love has the potential to transcend time, to transcend space. And love is not just an emotion, love is not a sentiment, it is the ultimate truth. So, Masters, that is it for the introductory session for today. And in the next session, we will talk about Anita's life's journey in detail, where we would know all her life experiences, about her childhood, about what all struggles she had to face, about her near death experience, and what all insights and learnings she brought from her near death experience and how it touched the world and how it changed the world. So, thank you so much for joining in today, and I open this platform for you all, Masters.
Thank you, Ruchi, for sharing it. It was wonderful. Um, I resonate because I fear in many aspects. I realize that I fear for a lot of things. That is maybe natural, uh, um, but as we tell, life is a journey, and we have to face everything. That's um, when you challenge it and when you overcome it, that's when you just lose the fear of it. So I'm in that process of trying to do things and trying to lose the fear. It is tough, but eventually I think we will learn it. um, but thanks for sharing, because especially when we come to I've been working in Canada, and once again I used to do a lot of meditations, 2 hours and all. Again I stopped. I used to work, and now again I'm home. So there is some disturbance in the mind always, that what am I really doing? If I do meditation, am I healing? Am I really healing? Or all these questions. I think I got few answers, but yeah, I'm satisfied, but not satisfied as well. But hopefully, the more I do meditation, I will know one day that some parts of me got healed. Hopefully, I'll work on myself more and more. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you once again.
Yes, thank you, Binduji. And when you say that you're not satisfied, that's a very good place to start with, because it's only the dissatisfaction that makes you take a step which you're not comfortable with. Like you just said that you have been doing meditation, but you haven't been regular on it. So it's very important that when we start with a practice like meditation, we have to do it every day sincerely without any break. Only then we will find that connection, and we need that connection every day. It's not that, okay, when everything is going fine, then we don't do meditation. It's just when our mind is disturbed, then we sit in for meditation. That won't help much, because when your mind has too many thoughts, it needs more time to calm it before you make that connection. So it's a very good place to start with, and it's a very good place to develop that trust and faith, you know and this won't happen. You won't get all the answers immediately, and this is also a very good thing. Okay, why we don't get answers immediately, or why the healing doesn't happen instantly. Why? Because if it happens instantly, if we get all the answers by sitting in just a few sessions of meditation, then we would not value what has happened in our life. We won't value the change that has come to our life, because of which we would want to go back to our old self. It's just when we have suffered enough that we have realized that this is not worth it, that when we take the next leap, when we be a new, then we know its importance. We know that come what may, we would not go back to our old self, and come what may, we would not let go of the practice that we are doing. So, we realize its importance. So, I wish you all the best for your journey, Bintuji, and thank you for sharing. Yes, Varnaji, please go ahead.
Hello, Richuji. Thank you. I missed the session. I like to, but something caught up, or I have to, I have to catch up uh, with the book that you shared today. But yeah, to the whatever you said, even it happens in everybody's life, right? Like, we meditate and everything's working, and again something happens and you're lost. And then you need to catch up. And again, what happened? Why did I fall? And then you get up and walk, right? Then you will understand the value. But if it is so quickly happening, if it is obvious, then we don't have the value of that lesson or that wisdom, right? But only one thing, we should never lose our hope and trust, right? Because whatever we have experienced, even single one experience is enough for us to get up and keep going and keep our belief high. Always never lose our belief, no matter what. That's okay. You fall down, you go to zero, or you get lot of challenges, but that one experience, the one faith, there is a universal energy that is always helping you to go through this one, go through lessons or challenges. That will make you to get up and keep moving always. So it's just I'm telling from my experiences. So just want to share it with you, Ruchiji. So yeah, the faith and belief. Yeah, and when we fall, then we will again tightly hold on to that, right? Make tighter connection. If we so simply going, even if we are in our life, if we are so happy, we don't tightly sit in our meditation, tightly hold on to that universal energy or universe, right? But when we fall, you tightly hold on to that. So that those are the opportunities are precious than the um, mm, like everything going smooth. I hope you all agree with me. You have seen. Thank you.
Definitely, Swarnaji, we do agree with you. And so rightly, you have shared everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruchiji.
Okay, so Madhaviji, I see your hand raised. Would you like to share anything? Or
Yes, thank you so much. As I told you in the beginning also, this Dying to Be Me, the book
Hmm,
name itself, it is really, really catchy. And thank you
yes,
so much for introducing this book. When you are talking about this author or about her experiences, because I have read this book called Louise Hay, especially the practical sessions I've taken it. I mean, I've done twice actually. That helped me a lot actually. That book has healed me my childhood traumas and also my hidden fears, I would say. I think I have to read this book as well. Maybe this is why it has come up. Like how, and even I too also faced the near death experience. And yeah, so probably that's one more book which is going to add in my library. And the Louise Hay practical sessions of 41 days, that healed a lot actually. Mm. And yeah, definitely I'll read this book or I'll join your sessions. That's easy then, instead of reading. And thank you so much for the insights. I'm looking forward.
thank you, Madhaviji. We didn't know about your near-death experience, and we would definitely like to know about it.
Yeah, if we have in a small way, I mean, in a shorter way, I can say when I was traveling
Mm,
via from Germany to India back, and I took a plane, Colombo plane, like Sri Lankan Airlines. So which is quite economical airlines at the time, Air India or the Sri Lankan Airlines. So it has happened like I have to stay for a day actually. So the longer the stay, you have the cheaper the flights. So those were the students' time, and we were so young, and then the 10 hours we don't know what to do. So we thought that we will just roam around in the Sri Lanka, and then we saw all the beaches and the city and the market and everything. But what had happened was we took a boat. You know, we took a boat and we were we were going in that boat, and suddenly the boat stopped in the middle, and nobody had the life jackets. And and that was a small boat, like just like a trips. And the waves were so big. We can imagine the ocean waves. And it was a small trip, just like a Kinara, like in the banks of this oceans. Oh, it was unimaginable. I just thought that, oh my God, uh, whatever I need to do at that time, I understood that whatever I need to do, I just have to do it, because that was completely, the boat was stuck in the middle of the thing, and we had no life jackets, and I was full of dreams. That's because we are very young, and that was really, we just left our hopes. We just thought that we will not come back. And that time I really, because I pray, I mean, you know that I believe in this Lord, and I just simply said that if I could get the life, then I'll dedicate my life to you, as I said. That's why I still learn the Sanskrit and all these slokas and everything. So I'm a devotee, Krishna devotee. So
Yeah.
I I surrendered myself then. Really, that was a very, it's really a nice and a good and a very near death experience. I just left it myself that, okay, it's gone, you know,
Yeah.
in a
Wow.
short way.
What an experience. Even thinking about it gave me goosebumps, imagining you in a small boat in the middle of the ocean. And yeah, and what I see is that, this experience, it got you closer to God, to your deity. Had this experience not come into your life,
Yes,
then you wouldn't have actually thought of learning the Sanskrit that you're learning now, and it wouldn't have brought that faith in you. Actually, it's these experiences only that rekindle our faith and trust in the
yes,
divinity.
true.
Otherwise, if life is all happy, if we are enjoying life, eating, sleeping, drinking, having a good merry time, going to shopping, going to clubs, then we would never ever think about closing our eyes, sitting in for meditation, and talking
Yes,
about all these spiritual books, connecting with ourselves. We would never even imagine, rather, we would say, what waste of time it is, you
yes,
know,
true.
because we have,
Absolutely.
so this suffering is actually a blessing in disguise.
True.
And, it's got the best out of you, Madhaviji. So thank you.
True. Yes,
Oh,
thank you so much for getting this book. And this is really dying to be me.
yes.
That name itself was so catchy, and I was thinking that what it could be. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
as always, Ram also says that the book will choose us. So the book is choosing us to teach us and learn us those insights, and to be
Yes.
more spiritual, and to be more to our higher selves,
True.
and to be connected to our most innermost of ourselves and the higher selves. True.
True.
Thank you so much for bringing up this. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Indrani ji, please, please, most welcome to go ahead.
Firstly, thank you so much, Ruchi Master, again coming up with another book. I did go through Anita's podcast. I know a little bit, not much, but I'm looking forward to the sessions. I want to share a small story which is linked to the way Yogananda ji showed how to see the divinity in everyone. And also, it is in line with what you have mentioned, like every situation, everything is for our good, and it is whatever happens is for our own good, and it happens how it is meant to happen. So when I was in my engineering college, um, I used to rag juniors left, right, and center. I'm not in a bad way, in a good way, but not everybody is same. I don't know how they would have taken it. I wouldn't know how they feel, but for me, it is like, I'm the senior. I can rag anyone. It was going on and on and on. And when I was in third year, one of my seniors, he was fully drunk. He came to me and he said, like, I have to sit with him. I said, I denied. I said, like, I'm not going to sit with you. I was very brave. I could fight it out. I was very brave, but that moment, I don't know what happened. Probably he was not in his senses, or it was for my own learning. I had to slow down. So my friend was next to me. She was also requesting him to leave me, and he said like she has to leave. She can't stay here. I don't know what to do. And she said, like, I'll call somebody. And then one guy was passing by, my classmate was passing by. She called that friend. And then he just said, like, leave her alone. And then he left. Just in a second, he left me, and I walked away from there. But then that moment, I was feeling so bad. I could understand why that has happened to me. It was like karma paying off. I write so many people, I had to take it back, right? So I was thinking, tears were rolling in my eyes. It was a very bad situation. Then I learned that, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to drag anyone. I quit that. At that moment itself, I stopped dragging people. And from there on, there were so many lessons. But that time, I did not know it was a lesson. Only after, all these Yogananda's Richi's sessions and all that, when I look back, I see that everything, even the guy who was fully drunk, he came to teach me a lesson. It's not that he's a bad guy. It was for my own good. So it's like a soul planning, everybody comes to teach us. They're not bad. They're not, they don't come to harass us or something like that. But it is for our own good. Probably we have to see in that way. Never see bad in people, but see what they're trying to teach us. So I thought like I would share this one.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Indrani, thank you so much. It takes a lot of courage to talk about what we did in the past, which we are not so proud of, and then actually taking that into the right light, because it all happened just to teach us what we need to learn. And that is how you have mentioned that you learned about it, that what you had given to others, that feeling came to you, and that is how you learned that how others must have felt when you were doing the same. So this is absolutely so amazing what you have mentioned, Indrani ji. And in the book also, I'll just mention on this, ke even Anita, she was bullied in her school a lot. And when she went in and had a near death experience, then she could see that person who bullied her, even that, she could see that that had to happen the way it did. So there was so much level of acceptance in her that that didn't happen something which was terrible, or she didn't want it at that time. Then why did that happen? No, it was bound to happen just the way it did. And when we start accepting everything, good, bad, ugly, then there's a new level of confidence, and there's a new level of trust and faith within us, because we know that everything that is happening, it is for our own good, because that experience is what we need at that point of time. Thank you. Thank you, Indrani ji, so much. I really appreciate your sharings.
Thank you, Master.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Swarna again, Ruchi ji. Yeah,
No,
beautiful sharing, Indrani ji, very brave. And yeah, that's how we need to accept not only friend, not only everybody, but even inside the family, spouses, or, we all see that, some toxic relations could be, or something, we all imagine because of the challenges you go through, but they're really not challenges. It's all something you're teaching. Like, otherwise, everything is universe, it's energy, everything is God. Even God is within them. If you are a God, then God can only attract a God. That means there is so much things, whether you know or not, or you want to believe it or not, but that is the truth. There is something that you need to transform in a deeper level, or you have to, reach the godly thing quickly, or whatever. That is your design. Based on that, you got that experiences. So never go down again, right? It's easy to go down whenever we don't have a good relationship, a very challenging relationship. But we need to remind ourselves this wisdom, accept him the way they are. When you accept it, everything drops. So even though we say, but we have to say it again and again and again, right? So yeah, acceptance is the key. And then you grow, then all your suffering ceases, and real wisdom comes at that time. So it's beautiful. But yeah, for that you need a courage, patience, lot of lot of love to yourself, a lot of compassion towards self, because during that time it's so hard to accept. But when we have these qualities, slowly, you able to accept, and you will it, even the person that who hurted you. So yeah, so just want to share.
Yes, thank you, Swarnaji, for bringing in more insights. Thank you. So, Masters, do we have more sharings, or else we can start with the meditation?